is the Solomon Islands. This is a unique, underrated island paradise in the South Pacific, famous for diving, surfing, and a wild history. Yet it still only gets around 30,000 tourists a year, which is about the same as somewhere like the Colosseum in Italy would get in a day. Yet we want to take you to some of its unique adventures and offerings to prove why it deserves way more love and attention. And it all starts here in the main island hub of Guadalcanal. This isn't something you can just hop into a taxi and see. You need to book a four-wheel drive up to this very special mountain lodge. Honestly, it's even well worth the visit just to see the lodge, especially if you are an avid bird watcher. But today, we are trekking off into the jungle to explore some hidden waterfalls. Can you believe this is only 1 hour away from the main city of Honiara? This is Tenaru Falls. Like anywhere in the tropics, it comes at no surprise that it can get pretty hot and humid here, making it all the more rewarding when you are greeted by this 60-meter waterfall cascading into some of the most vibrant freshwater pools that you'll want to jump straight into. And the best part about it, you can spend as little or as long as you want here swimming and exploring and just wandering around the river. But keep in mind, you're technically only halfway on your hike because you have to do the exact same steep and sweaty climb on the way back up, which I wouldn't recommend doing in the peak heat of the day. But don't worry, this is why you have expert guides from the lodge with you every step of the way to make sure you get back safe. Ugh. Well, it is definitely one of the most unique things to do here in the Solomon Islands, and while it may not be for everyone, I think even we were probably pushing it with our fitness levels. It is well worth looking into if you love a wild adventure. Speaking of a wild adventure, we are off to Malaita. Visiting the cultural villages in the Solomon Islands is an absolute must. Learning about the traditions is the perfect way to connect to what makes the Solomon Islands so special, and in fact what makes every single province in the Solomon Islands so unique. One of the most unique cultural villages to come to in the Solomon Islands is the Busu Cultural Village, where shell money still exists. In fact, they produce it here for the entire Solomon Islands, and it is more popular than ever. And lucky for you, we are taking you along every step of the way, from how it's made, where it's sent, and what it's even used for. So let's go! The primary income of this community here is actually from the production of shell money. It's really interesting that you kind of hear of these traditions being a dying breed, but here they're actually making and using shell money more than ever with the growing population, not only here in the Busu Cultural Village, but all through the Solomon Islands.
Whenever there is a bride gift, the ceremony always given to the mother of the girl, the bride.
As well as jewellery, which makes the perfect souvenir to take home a piece of Malaita with you. As a tourist, not only is this one of the best ways to give back and support the community, it also became the best conversation starter for the rest of our trip, as so many Solomon Islanders were so proud and excited to see us wearing a piece of their home. From the man-made coral islands of Langalanga Lagoon to the mountains that are full of surprises.
Going down from everywhere. I'm too clumsy.
We are here in the Haodaikirio homestay, and we're having a whole bunch of cultural experiences here today. Everything from the Panpipes entrance to the somewhat terrifying tribes, warrior welcome, I guess it would be called, yeah. And then we will be learning to make some of the traditional foods that they eat here. I'm not quite sure what it looks like, but we know that it's made of taro and coconut. So let's go find out.
People, they like to eat the lakeno.
Yes.
Okay. They eat the lakeno, but there is a process for that food, yeah? So that is why that today you are the lucky one that you will see the process today, yeah? From the garden, they bring every stuff from the garden, and then I think it took us 2 days preparation for that food.
Wow.
Almost might be yesterday, yeah? And then today we get every stuff here, then we can process that food, yeah? Lakeno, local food. And then when we finish that lakeno, then our lunch, yeah, and then hopefully that you will test the lakeno today. Yeah.
Malaita is famous for Lakeno. People come from all over the Solomon Islands to smuggle some back home because it is supposedly one of the most delicious things you can have while you're here, and we'll be the judge of that. It does have the same texture as mochi. It's really interesting. And the flavour is way more mild than I expected. It definitely leans to more towards that like coconut milk side of things. You can really taste that coming through. I like it way more than I thought I did because I've never really liked taro in the past. As a massive cloud rolled over the mountains, the whole village came together to listen to the sounds of the panpipes. The panpipes and the music here in Malaita especially is some of the most popular in all of the Solomon Islands, and there is just nothing else like being here and soaking it all in under the rain with the sun still peeking through. It is just unbelievable, and you really need to experience it for yourself. Now buckle up because we are catching a flight out to the Western Province, and you will want the window seat for this one. We have just landed in my favourite airport in the entire world. This is completely unique. So I hope you're not thinking anything like Changi or Qatar, which are rated the best in the world. But this place is extra special. Let me show you why. Seriously, we have just come straight off the plane, right into baggage claim, and look at this welcome. And if landing onto an airstrip that is an entire island wasn't cool enough, just wait until you see the airport taxi zone, where boats are your only form of transport. And ours is taking us back to my favourite unique resort that just so happens to be the perfect base to see why Gizo is the most underrated island hopping hub in the world. Welcome to Fatboys Resort. I first visited 7 years ago and I have been dreaming of returning ever since. You get spoiled with overwater accommodation, an overwater restaurant with some of the freshest seafood you will ever have in your life, and now they have their very own Fatboys dive shop. But we're taking a little break from snorkeling to hop over to somewhere a little different. If you're looking for a really hands-on cultural experience in the Solomon Islands, coming out to Sagheragi Island, just off Fatboys Resort, is one of my favourites, and today I'm getting my hands into some weaving. Despite my shaky hands, I really got into the groove of weaving and had so much fun just sitting on the beach, chatting away and making these beautiful, intricate baskets that are often used to pick up groceries at the local markets or even just carry things around the village. But the weaving Jed was most excited for was actually the plates for our feast that was getting cooked just next door. Hot. So hot.
Good. Very good.
It gets harder to say goodbye to Gizo every single time, but it is not the end of our Solomon Islands adventures just yet. As we fly back to Honiara, yet we're not sticking around the city for long, we're jumping straight on a boat across to the central province. If you're not quite ready to leave paradise just yet, don't worry, this is the perfect last stop before you fly out from Honiara. Only 1 hour boat ride away, you are here in Nugu Beach Resort getting to enjoy the most of island life. There are several bungalows scattered along the beachfront here. It is the perfect location where they host everything from corporate retreats, families, locals doing day trips, and hopefully you soon. Warning, you're probably gonna fall in love. The water here is pristine, making it the perfect spot to get your last minute water activity fix. And that is exactly what we were doing today. We're going to make the most of the snorkeling, the kayaking, and who else knows what we'll get up to here, but you're going to find out. You excited there? What do we got?
I think we've got rice, some chicken. These are like clam skewers, maybe? Super colourful. Not quite sure what I'm looking at. Good catch.
And then this one, Jed is the most excited for.
Alright, I don't know what to do with these ones, so
And that's what I'm most excited for.
they are bright and colourful.
I still cannot believe this is all only 3 hours away from Australia with 2 direct airport options and even more connections for our international friends through Fiji and Vanuatu. Look, this is not a destination for those just seeking luxury 5-star stays. But if you are nature obsessed, craving the best island hopping of your life and are ready to embrace island time for a wild adventure, the Happy Isles are calling your name. And honestly, we barely scratched the surface with this video. So it's a good thing we've already got your complete survival guide and perfect Solomon Islands itinerary waiting for you in the description. So what are you waiting for? We'll see you in the Solomon Islands.